Hey y'all. Thanks for joining us on the first edition of Coco Hollywood Live. Now, the groundbreaking film Love and Basketball turns 20 years old, and we're celebrating the film with one of its stars. A Wisconsin based small business is helping your family stay safe and fashionable. And finally, a young rapper's frustration with the quarantine, it may actually turn into a hit record. We'll find out on this episode of Coco Hollywood Live. For Coco Hollywood, I'm Margot Span. Good evening, y'all, and thanks for joining us on the first edition of Coco Hollywood Live. Now, what exactly is Coco Hollywood Live? Obviously, if you look at our logo, it's a melanin rainbow because we want to make sure that everybody knows that everybody is welcome. Second of all, there's not going to be any gossip here. We focus on inspiring, enlightening, and of course, entertaining stories. Now, first up, we have a very familiar face, an actress that you've been seeing for the last 20 years, and most people actually still call her by the character that you recognize her from Love and Basketball. So here's my interview with Erika.
I've been doing it a long time, and like honestly, it's like now things are starting to like pay off. So when I say it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's business.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into acting in the first place.
First, I wanted to be a singer, rapper. Like I wanted to be Mary J. Blige, not Mary J. But when she came out, that's kind of like how I saw myself. Like she sings, but she's like B girl, you know. So I really singing is my first love, but you know, it didn't flow that way. It didn't work out, but it worked out perfect. So, you know.
Wow, you learn something new every day. I had no idea that you were actually a singer. Okay. Maybe
Well, I won't say I'm a singer. I love singing. I don't know.
Come on, we may have to have you, dust off those
You know what?
a little bit.
Don't you girl, don't even do it.
Erika Ringor honed her skills in stage plays and as a background actor. At 23, her career moved from the background to center stage after landing a role in her first feature film, Love and Basketball.
She was like, hey, cousin, she was like, Spike Lee is holding auditions for girls who play basketball for this new movie. So the auditions we were playing 2-on-2. That's it. You got a number. She gave you a ball, and you go play. So there was a girl there who I played with a lot. She was really good. So me and her were on the same team, and we were killing off all these girls. I was like, is this competition? Like, I wasn't even trying to be like that, but I was like, okay. So we were doing really well. And Gina asked me and this girl to stay after to help her finish the auditions. She was like, I just want the people to play against you guys. Like, we were kind of like the standard. So ended up staying. I was at the audition for like 3 hours, like hanging out, just kind of getting to know, just literally hanging out. And Gina came up to me after and handed me sides for the role of Monica. And she was like, I want you to come in next week for an audition. So I go into the audition, I did pretty good, but me just kind of knowing the industry, I already knew they probably already had an offer out for somebody. But I was like, cool, I can get in front of a casting director. Aisha Coley was a casting director still, like today, like I'm forever grateful to her. Like, that's my dog. And, I didn't get it, but I said, hey, if you guys have roles on the basketball team, I want to be on it. 2 weeks later, I get a call and they were like, hey, can you come in for another role for the role of Sidra? I was like, sure. So I read it and I was like, oh, she's fun. She's kind of like me on the basketball court, like competitive, but, nice, but, I'm competitive. So that turned into like I think I had 5 callbacks. And my third callback, I ended up reading with Sana, not realizing she was the lead. I just thought she was like one of the readers.
Oh, okay.
Right? And not knowing. And I just remember my boyfriend at the time went with me to the audition. We got into the elevator with Boris Kojo, by the way. He was also coming that same day. I was like, trying not to stare. But anyway, so when I leave the audition, I say to him, I go, I had a really good reader. She's a really good actress. I was like, I wonder who that girl was. I didn't know her, but I was like, that was a really good audition. I was like, me and her had chemistry.
Well, let me ask you, how often do people come up to you and call you Sidra and ask you to recite your now famous movie line? How often does that happen to you?
Every day.
Really?
At least 5 days a week. It just depends. Like, we're in quarantine, so I haven't been out. But when I'm out, every day.
Wow.
It's either a, oh my God, or they'll say, hey, it's something. It's something. Hey, Sidra.
What's it like having had something that you did 20 years ago that people are still like enamored with? And I mean, you get recognized on the street from something 20 years ago. There are rappers who made records last week that people don't know who they are. Like, how does that feel? I'm serious. Like, that's dope.
You know what? I'm grateful for it. Like, that just proves that it's a great film. Gina Bythewood, who wrote it, Gina Prince Bythewood, like, she's an amazing writer. She had a great cast, and I don't think great work ever expires.
That actually brings me to my next question. I think the reason people liked your character so much is that, every coming of age movie has a villain, so to speak, but the way you played the villain, she was still likable. Like, she wasn't the type of villain that by the time you got to the end of the movie where you guys were having dinner,
right,
it didn't seem out of place because of the way that you played that particular character. So I want to know, was that a conscious decision to not play her as, like, kind of a super bitch? She was just she was very matter of fact. I thought she was hilarious, honestly.
You know what? The thing is that I didn't look at Sidra as a villain. I just looked at her as a competitor, and I'm a competitor. So it's just what it was. And athletes, especially like women basketball players, like, they were like, I didn't think you were a bitch at all. I would have done the same thing. Yeah, they may not have dropped the weights on her, but
right.
Maybe some girls might have dropped the weight, but I didn't see her as a villain. It was almost like, okay, cool. If you want my spot, you need to come take it.
Just wanted to say good game. But no buts.
Thanks.
Just one word of advice for next season.
What's that?
Never let a freshman take your spot.
I will say this. The little clip, that was me. I added. That wasn't written. I was real proud of that. It was very like, what can I do right here? Girl, let me take this clip out. I was like, yeah. So every time I watch it, I was like, okay, that was a good one. And she kept that take, so that was awesome. I didn't realize how big this movie was, like, or what it was going to be. No clue. It was literally a dream come true.
One thing that was really interesting when I was reading your Wikipedia is that you were in the Trapped in the Closet. That was my jam. What was your experience like doing Trapped in the Closet with R. Kelly?
Oh, yes. So I played Roxanne. Y'all see it. I had this big tat right here. It said Roxanne. First of all, I know what it is. And honestly, like, I'm a huge R. Kelly fan. I've always been an R. Kelly fan. And I really try not to judge people because it's not my place. I know everyone has their opinion, which is fine. I can just say that working, honestly, on that project was one of the best experiences as far as, like, what we were doing and the preparation for it and the lip syncing.
That's awesome. I mean, to be a part of 2 legendary projects, I mean, girl, that's you winning, okay? Like, for real. A lot of folks may not have seen some of your other work. I know you've done, like, different series and things like that. Tell us what you're up to now, because I know you don't stop.
I have 3 projects coming out. Yay, all filmed. So the first one is called Gringa. I play a soccer coach. Again, we finished it in December, but because of things now, I'm sure everything's pushed back. And then I just finished a film with Will Smith called King Richard.
Nice.
My role, like, my filming is done, but the filming is definitely not done. I think we were like 2 months into it. So I finished a week before they shut everything down. And then there was another film I filmed actually the following Monday when I finished that one called Good Girl. I'm grateful that I was able to actually finish the projects and just continue my other business, which, Herbalife, which is, that's been my full time around my acting. So I do both. So being a nutrition coach, like wellness life coach around, it just fits.
I mean, I know as an athlete, you were probably
Yeah.
used to taking care of your body, but what made you want to go full throttle into something like that?
So I've been doing Herbalife for 8 years. I was coming off back surgery, and I was working out like 5-6 days a week, herniated disc. So I had my surgery, but in the midst of like recovering, I just was doing a lot of emotional eating, and I put on like 20 pounds, was going into auditions, not confident, like literally like just confidence. It had nothing to do with my talent. I didn't feel good about myself. So my sponsor introduced me to the products. And so I was like, you know what, let me try it. I'm an athlete. I get it. I had never done supplements. So it was new to me. So I ended up like dropping 8 pounds in the first 10 days, but I still wasn't able to work out because I was in therapy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, so it literally turned into people, like I posted my before and after photo, and people were like, yo, what are you doing? So I made like $300 like my first month by accident. I have a lot of people coming to me now because they lost their job. Mm-hmm. So they're like, hey, Erika, what's that Herbalife thing? Like what's that opportunity? And I've literally got about 5 new coaches, distributors who have come on, and they're, just because of right now.
What's the advice that you would give to folks just to kind of get through this time period?
I would say you have to work on yourself so hard right now. Now, I'm going to tell you what that looks like, because people are like, oh, okay, but this is what working on yourself looks like. Personally, I wake up, the first 2 hours of my day are for Erika. It's not for Instagram, not for Facebook. I don't check my email. If people that know me, they know. My mom, when she calls, I go, hey, Mom, I'm doing my personal development. I'll hit you when I'm done. Okay, that's it. It's you got to take time for you. It's, as bad as it looks right now, you just really got to be thankful for where you're at. And then if you don't like it, switch it up. It's a choice.
Those are gems right there. Like, you literally gave us some great advice. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
DM me if you're serious. You have some questions. You want some advice. You need some health results. Hit me up. I'm here.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you joining us here for our first edition of Coco Hollywood Live.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks again to this super talented and ageless beauty, y'all. Y'all know she still gets recognized after 20 years. How many of us can say that we look exactly the same? Thanks again to Erika Ringor for being on our show today. If you want to hear more about what Erika has to say about a love and basketball too, head to our website, cocohollywood.com. Now, you know I love a good deal, and I am the plug. So this segment we have coming up next features a local business who is going to make sure that your family is safe and fashionable while we have to wear these masks, y'all. So check out Sacred Beauty Garden and how to actually wear their masks in case you need one.
Hey guys, I'm just going to run right through this and do a tutorial on how to actually wear my mask. Okay? And so it'll come to you just like this, fold it. Period of time during the day. So there's a metal clasp that's in here at the top of the mask. You want to take that and clamp it to your nose. You want it to form to your nose so that it fits your nose perfectly. Let me show you. So as I said before, this just goes over your whole head. Okay? There's no tying, there's no buttoning, there's no wrapping anything around your ears. Okay?
Thanks again to Sacred Beauty Garden for sponsoring today's segment and hooking me up with some beautiful masks. They're beautiful quality. They have a little piece in them to make sure that they fit. And of course, they're reusable. So y'all stay safe out there. And if you need a mask, make sure you hit up Sacred Beauty Garden in Wisconsin. Now, last but not least, I heard a song about the quarantine and it really caught my ear. Now, a lot of us have heard bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Well, how about Don't Touch Me? This is coming from a young man out of Wisconsin. His name is Will on Water. Check it out.
Goddamn. I'm sick and tired of y'all running around like the coronavirus ain't out here killing niggas. Man, I got half the phobia out this bitch. Do not touch me, nigga. I'm masked up, brassed up. You know what the fuck going on. Did you wash your hands, bitch? Cause I can't fucking tell.
Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't damn. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't damn. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Yeah, strategize when I get to the green. Sanitize, man, I gotta stay clean. But my swag fucking sick as a sneeze. Try to play like a clown, we gon' spray your ass down like the crib getting hit with Febreze. Ain't no rap, but I stay with the cheese. Ain't no cap, man, I bleed what I breathe. I don't fuck with these niggas, I be riding solo, my nigga, I been quarantined. When your bitch peep the drip, hit her knees. Hit that pussy and regulate, no RNG. I'm on her way like Poseidon, and everyone's still trying to ride it. She threw it, I'm getting behind it. Blow her back like I'm doing the Heimlich. On the net with them posts, trying to act like you cold, but my nigga, we know you ain't sliding. We all know that you be lying. Before the shutdown, you was hiding. Niggas talk down, but still can't stop me. I'm still going up like 5G. In the flow bomb, no kamikaze. In the field, kicking shit like Rock Lee, nigga. Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Damn, bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me. Bitch don't touch me.
You know what it is, man. You gotta stay sanitized, moisturized, strategize, and keep your mind on the prize at all times. You heard it here first, stay wet. Your boy Will on Water in this bitch. Trap water coming soon. Get in!
Now I know y'all thought that was fire. I thought it was pretty hot too. Thank you to Will on Water for being our first on deck artist here on Coco Hollywood Live. Now, if you know of a small business or an independent artist that you think we should showcase, make sure you hit me up in our DMs and I'll check them out. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you to Erika Ringor for being our first guest today. I also want to thank Sacred Beauty Garden for sponsoring us today, as well as our on-deck artist, Will on Water. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you next Monday here on Coco Hollywood Live.